Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. In the last part we did Dungeons 5 and 6, and this part we're going to continue on and do 7 and 8 actually. Now before we go to even start our way towards Dungeon 7, there's something else we have to get along the way. I mentioned it last part. You may have noticed back in the shop where I got the blue ring back in part 1, they actually had some meat there. You can use that to bait some enemies around on the screen, however, you're required to use it during Dungeon 7 for various reasons, so I have to go get that right now. It's 60 rupees, so it's fairly inexpensive compared to certain other things, but it's needed either way. And there it is. Also, I should mention, you can also buy keys from certain shops at this point in the game. However, I already have 5, so I think I'm good. And now we can make our way towards Dungeon 7. This one is really weirdly located. It's here in the Lost Woods, which is actually something I haven't shown off. There's a screen here that you are not able to progress in unless you go in a certain order. I think it's this screen directly to my west, actually. However, if you use the way that to get to the graveyard that I took earlier, last part, you don't need to go in there at all. Anyway, use your magic whistle here, and it'll lower this water, revealing the entrance to Dungeon 7. Which is the... I'm not sure, actually. I think this is the demon. Yes, it is. Dungeon 7 is the demon. And this is also where the dungeons start getting a bit weird. Also, those fire things, actually, I forget if I mentioned this or not, but those are actually called Moldorms. As in the annoying enemy from Link to the Past, which is the boss of the third dungeon. Yeah, not sure how they got weird little worm out of it. Ooh, wow, I got the right one. In certain rooms in the game, if you kill a certain enemy amongst a group of them, you'll actually kill them all at once. Maybe, I think that applies to most group rooms, actually, but it's really hard to do at times, because you just want to kill them all anyway. Also, my footage glitched there for about 20 seconds as if it was on the pause screen. I think this is just a room directly to the right of it or so. But Dig Dogger is all over the place in this dungeon. Got a stealth us with a key here. Luckily we won't need keys for much longer. Nudge nudge, wink wink. Hello, Dig Dogger. Yes, it was the room directly to the right. Okay, I'm not sure why my footage glitched up there, but it did. And randomly using my missile? Oh, I cast magic missile! Whistle, rather. You know, I actually recently had one of my friends preview these parts, and he was actually asking if I played this game before. One thing I'm not sure if you guys realized at this point yet, but this is actually my first complete playthrough. I have to say I am using Zelda Dungeon because there's no way I'm playing like a game like this through completely blind without some sort of guide. Zelda 2, maybe. Link to the Past, possibly. But not Zelda 1. I'm not that crazy. For the most part. I should also... I said that. I should also mention that the final bomb upgrade is also in this dungeon, so make sure you get along the way to 100 rupees while you're in here, or when you're on the way. And ropes, haven't seen these guys in a while, have we? I have no idea why I killed them all, but I did anyway. Psychopath! And the dongos. The bomb upgrade is actually directly north. However, I still need a good 33 rupees. I should mention, killing all these dongos like I will later on will get you 5 rupees. Also, I'll be cutting back to that room not too long in the future, so make sure once you get past a certain room with an alliterative man, or an alliterative Garaya, after the room after that, head back down. Or, well, you'll see what I mean later on. Compass is right there, and we're not too far from the boss, all things considered. We've been farther. You know, I really do hate the bubbles in this game. Although, for some reason, they remind me more of the sparks and anti-fairies than they do the bubbles. Because nowadays, while I do see bubbles as a skull surrounded by something, I've always just seen them as flying skulls with bats on the back of their heads ever since the N64 games. I'm used to better, I suppose. And another Dig Dogger fight. I should mention, there are 3 Dig Dogger fights in this dungeon. Only one of them is required, and it's towards the end. And you also don't need to fight these Gorias, but I'm doing it in case they drop money. Which they do not seem to be in the mood to do so. Luckily, killing them gets you 5 rupees anyway. Now this Grumble Goriah here, if you did not have the meat, you would have to backtrack out and buy it because it's the only way you can get past this guy. I know many people who got stuck here because they didn't know what the hell it meant. Also, you can strike him to have that fire shoot fireballs at you. And this room. This is actually another dungeon that has a secret room in it. And it's rather oddly placed, honestly. It's directly north of us, right off the map. And what is it but a good 7 or so rupees? It's at this point that I go back and kill those Dodongos, bomb some Dodongos, and get 5 rupees so I can come up here and get the final bomb upgrade, increasing my bomb total to 16. And then come back to that rupee room because there's a shortcut we can do in here. It's at this point that with the game that I was saying, I've had enough of your crap, I'm just going to use shortcuts whenever possible. And I do from now on, essentially. Well, when it's not major. Whoa, slow down. Hello, how are you? Now actually, what we're heading towards right now is the dungeon item, which is actually kind of weirdly hidden. It's in a room that's not even on the map. It's directly to the east of us in the Eye of the Demon. And it's another one that's downstairs. In fact, a lot of the items are, aren't they? I only think we've gotten the boomerang and magical boomerang through other means. And down here we got the red candle, which you might be wondering, we already have a blue candle, what's the difference? Doesn't blue burn hotter? Well, scientifically it does. Randomly hitting the pause button there. The thing is with the blue candle is that it can light up rooms, but you can only use it once per screen. The red candle can be used infinitely on any screen, so it's a pure upgrade. And it just looks cooler in my opinion, so I went for it. And honestly, in terms of science, it is cooler. And this is the only required Dig Dogger fight. Note, all Dig Doggers in this place split into 3, which is 2 shots each, so you still need to hit 6 times. And they get much faster as time goes. And more Dodongos, but you can outright skip these guys with no repercussions at all just by bombing the right wall. And this is a rather annoying room. You have to kill all 5 wall masters that'll spawn in here. Which is rather annoying, honestly. And once you kill them all, push this block right here to make the staircase appear in the top right. And now we're actually heading right towards the final boss? No, we're still 2 dungeons away from the final boss. However, we can come over here for the boss, which is Aqua Mentis again. Funnily enough, he only takes 2 strikes now, so... yeah. Oh, Zelda, while I love you, your boss variation in the first game sucked. And with that, we have Triforce Piece number 7, and... I cut back to the starting screen for easier navigation. I'm sorry if you're playing along, you have to backtrack there a lot, it's just the easiest way to find where you're going next. Now, Dungeon 8 is actually the most well-hidden one in the entire game. There's no pointers towards it whatsoever, even the last one, even though it was underneath a fairy, there's a certain old man somewhere that says, there's a secret lies where fairies don't, or something along those lines. Essentially says that there's a secret where there's no fairies, and, as I showed you earlier in the game, there is fairy fountains, like the one we were at, on the way to a certain, I think towards the, I forget where we're heading towards, but I showed you a fairy fountain earlier, and that was essentially, Dungeon 7 was essentially a fairy fountain without a fairy. That could have been worded oh so much better, but I don't care. But Dungeon 8, on the other hand, has literally no pointers towards it whatsoever. You'll find it most likely out of curiosity more than anything else. Where is it? It's underneath this bush. Mind you, that is kind of a suspicious-looking bush, but still. And just how bad is Dungeon 8? Manhandla's in the first big room. Now, Dungeon 8, it's called the Lion, and this is one of the 3 dungeons in the game that has 2 items in it. The first one being the first dungeon we went to, which had, something and the arrow. The boomerang and the arrow. Well, magical boomerang, at least. I forget where the normal one was. No, the first one had a arrow and the normal boomerang. Magical was in Dungeon 2. And this is the second one, and the third one is level 9, which is the final dungeon of the game. The first item we can get is right here, and it's the magical book. It's an upgrade, quote-unquote, to the magical rod. It makes, if it hits a wall, enemy whatsoever, or really anything at all whatsoever, it'll make a fire appear. It also serves as a candle, so the red candle we just got is kind of pointless now. Oh well. Yeah, the magical rod, I honestly never use it much because bombs and boomerangs are overall better, but if you want to use it, it's pretty good. Hello again, Manhandla. Luckily you can skip this fight with him. Or her. I'm not sure. And a lot more blue Darknuts. Yay. Honestly, they are just the worst enemy in the game, because they are so stupidly hard to hit at times. Now, I don't think you're required to kill all of them, but I did so anyway for the key. Or, actually, no, I think I have to go north eventually, so maybe I am required. No, I don't remember, honestly. And that's me using it as a candle just so I can show it off. And I'm getting completely destroyed by a random cat, mouse, head thing that's weak to loud noises. Seriously, what the heck is a Paul's voice supposed to be? Anyway, and here we got, thankfully, a break, 3 red Darknuts. Which are much easier to kill. In fact, they go down in 1 swipe nowadays. And we came in here for a key. I just realized I have 8 keys. Huh. I didn't even notice that. Oh, come on, that should have hit it. Unless, actually, I think Paul's voice is another enemy that's immune to the magical ride anyway. Wait, did I just say magical ride? I can't speak well sometimes. Oh, I love this room, honestly. Why? Because I can do that. Just completely destroyed like 6 Paul's voices. And in doing that, you get the compass. Now, actually, the second item in this place, people often forget about for some reason. I don't know why. I will admit, it's kind of hidden, though. I'm using my second use of a potion right here because, for one, I need to buy a new one for the final dungeon anyway, and for another, Darknuts on low health. No thank you. The thing is, you don't have to kill these guys right now, but you will have to eventually, so I'm just gonna do it now. Because the thing is, while there is a door that unlocks when killing them, there's actually a secret passage you can bomb to the north that leads towards the second treasure, but the way to the exit is to the right, so you need to take them out at some point or another. Better do it soon than later. Or sooner than later. And the thing is, the most annoying thing about the blue Darknut runes in these dungeons is the fact that they always have laser balls being fired at you by statues. And I don't like that. Then again, although it hasn't seemed like that, even though it hasn't seemed like it much at times, I honestly hate this game. I just have the power to seem enthusiastic over anything. Which kind of is useful at times. And another manhandler! And oh, that probably would have been a one-hit kill, but I accidentally exited. Curse you, doorways! Now, come on. Come here. Get blown up by my blue bomb thing. Thank you for going right into that. And now we get to see that the shape of this dungeon is in fact a lion. Which is also a hint towards the second item we can get in here, which is actually rather close. And hello again, Goma. Now you're blue. This Goma takes 3 hits to kill as opposed to the last one. It's overall easy, though. Now, the second item is located below the staircase, and, great, more blue Darknuts. The second item is actually quite a useful one, although a lot of people tend to forget it even exists. Like, I know for a fact that a certain, how can I hint towards this person without exactly saying their name? Well, let's just say these two awesome people did a Let's Play and they forgot this key was here and got lost in the final dungeon. And the dungeon item, and the second dungeon is the, second item is the magical key. First off, it's shaped like the dungeon, for the first point. And for another, you might notice now next to my key number I have the letter A. That means technically I believe in Hex, A is equivalent to 10. But essentially we now have infinite keys. It's the skeleton key of the game. And it's extremely useful. Because now I don't have to go out of my way to, look for keys. And it also completely changes the route of the, final dungeon if you have it. So, yeah, get it. And with that, all that's left is for us to head directly to the boss. Which is a boss we've seen quite a few times, actually. Now, normally, since I don't actually need any more keys, I wouldn't go out of my way to get that one, but I'm going to anyway because there's a heart and I need more life. There we go. I'm always one of those guys that gets kind of nervous when he's below half health. Also, you don't have to kill these red Darknuts, but I want to anyway because more health drops are good. And honestly, I don't think it was worth it, because I think I lost more than I gained. Yeah, I did. Anyway, the boss of this dungeon is in the next room. Now this is one I've never understood. 10th enemy has the bomb. I'm guessing they're supposed to say that with the blue enemies or so. Every 10 enemies you get a bomb, but I'm not sure. Anyway, boss of this dungeon is Gliok once again. This time he has 4 heads, so just do the same strategy and try not to get hit. Yeah, they just love this boss in this game. I think this is the last time we're fighting him, though, thankfully. And with that, we beat the boss of the 8th dungeon and got the final heart container. With that, we're almost 100% done with the game. And we got Triforce Piece number 8. Booyah! All 8 main dungeons are done, now all that's left is for us to go to the final one. Where death will probably await me. But, with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, we'll be heading back to the starting screen, and from there, heading on to the final dungeon of the game. Note, I'm actually gonna go and grind some money so I can get another red potion, because those are useful. So yeah, see you guys then.